my comrades in gaming. How's it going, guys? Ran for 100 here. Hope you guys are chillaxing, taking it easy as this weather is starting to warm up really nice on the East Coast. Except my hometown just got like hailstormed the crap out of it, so I don't know what's up with that. I think that happened last year to us as well, so, you know, whatever. So this is a little bit of Overwatch from the new Call of Duty DLC. If you had Elite, you already had it before, but now everybody on the 360 can purchase it. I think it's for 1,200 Microsoft points, or $15. So this will be more of like a tips and tricks thing, not Cal tipping tips and tricks. That's pretty easy to do. Go out, try it. Actually, it's pretty hard. Go out, try that. See how Cal tipping works for you. I'll give you a hint. It's not going to work out so well. But yeah, so a little bit more tips and tricks on like all the maps, Piazza, Black Box, Overwatch, and Liberation. And you can watch the video. You can see maybe some lines of sight in Liberation, or this isn't Liberation. Some lines in sight that in Overwatch that you might not have saw before, and you know, talk about that a little bit more. So I guess we'll start with Overwatch just because it's the one that we're playing right now. And this was taken during WXP weekend, so that's explaining the different like points you're seeing. But as far as Overwatch goes, it's pretty small map, you know. I would say small to medium sized. There's a lot of cover, as you see that guy that just had his head sticking out there. You could barely see him. So it has a lot of cover. One of the main things that I noticed about it is that it's not like the best map for air support, just based on the fact that there's so many, like there's the upper level and there's the lower level. And because there's so many twists and turns in the upper level, the enemy needs to be literally on the upper level and out in the open for your air support to hit them. That's assuming they don't have blind eye either. So, you know, it's very hit and miss as far as air support goes. And you can also throw grenades in that to the upper level, so don't forget that. You'll see a lot of people, what they tend to do is they'll stay, if they're on the upper level, they'll use the windows to their advantage and like pop out to look at you. That exposes them, but at the same time it also gives them really good lines of sight, so be aware of that. You know, javelins are good on this map just because there's only so many places they can be. These stairs here, basically like stairs of death, just because people tend to come in and out of them, like right here. One of the things I would say that if you're going to be really aware, especially, this goes for all the new maps, is that the spawns aren't that great. I mean, everybody complains about the Call of Duty spawn system being like, you know, subpar or whatever, but this is exceptionally so. If you look at any of the spawns, there's been times in Overwatch where I'll literally spawn behind the person. Same goes for them, they'll spawn right behind me. Depends on, I guess it depends on where your team is, but it's really hit or miss. So if you die, there's a chance that they may spawn behind you, you may spawn behind them, so just be aware of that. So technically all deaths are not your fault there. But yeah, and I guess that'll go with like Liberation as well. In Liberation, if you play Liberation long enough, you'll know that there's this bridge. There's 2 points. There's a bridge in like the middle of the map to the left, and there's a underground bunker area. The game has a tendency to spawn people either directly under the bridge or in the bunker. And what a lot of people I see tend to do is they'll run straight out from the bridge, or they'll run straight out up the stairs of the bunker, like straight into the middle of the map, which is basically a kill zone because people have caught on to that idea, and you'll see them like waiting outside either or the bridge or the bunker, just waiting for people. And you know, that's a really good tactic for you, but it's a really good tactic for them, but it kind of sucks for the person who spawned there. Another thing I would say about Overwatch, and this is for specifically Overwatch, that like area with the beam where I am right now that's above me with these stairs, don't take that lightly, just because it's a very easy way to get from the lower to the upper levels, as well as like, you know, it gives you really good line of sight like right here. It's really easy to get up the upper level instead of having to go up those stairs. And you can get over there, but you can watch me fail miserably right here. There's one miss. It turns into a win, because that guy. And then he had martyrdom, so there's my fail. Yeah, I'm an idiot. So yeah, that's basically air support. I mean, it goes for all of them really, as far as air support goes. In this one, air support's really easy to spot. Liberation, the map's so big that air support is kind of at a detriment, depending on if you're looking for those like quad predators and stuff. And I would say your best bet for air support if you're gonna play one of the new maps is Piazza and Black Box. So as far as Black Box is concerned, and sorry if I'm jumping around here, but I'm just trying to get as much in as I possibly can. But as far as Black Box is concerned, it has really good lines of sight. It has really long lines of sight. So if you're playing Black Box, you know, expect a lot of snipers. Expect snipers to be up in the buildings. It's really it's really not that like akin to shotguns and such. But if you're gonna use shotguns, you might as well stay inside the houses, all the houses, especially like the middle house of death and like the houses by like C domination, if you know where that is. Basically just all the houses. Don't go from like house to house because that's probably gonna spell your doom. As far as as far as guns are concerned for black box, I would say that my personal preference would be to use something like this here, something like the MK, or any assault rifle that has a really good long line of sight. I actually think the MK is probably the best gun for it. I mean, you know, aside from like the Type 95 and stuff, just for the sake that it doesn't have that much recoil, and it's really easy to shoot down long lines of sight, so you can pick off the snipers before they have a tendency to shoot you. Because Black Box is a longer sight map as opposed to like Piazza or Overwatch, which is medium to short, depending on where you are. So that's more like the shticky on that. As far as Piazza goes, again, spawning is kind of an issue at times, but I would say it's probably one of the better maps. At least it's my favorite one out of all of them. Black Box is probably second. But as far as Piazza goes, I would say shotguns are actually very useful. If you're using air support, it may be hard to get really high kills from air support just for the fact that there's so many different levels from Piazza, going up the stairs, going down the stairs, and such. So I don't know, that's about it for Piazza. Yeah, so if you go back to Overwatch, and I found this especially true for Search and Destroy, as well as Team Deathmatch. So in Overwatch, it's very similar to High Rise from Modern Warfare 2, in the sense that you have that spawn sniping area, and this is very important in Search and Destroy, because you'll see people, they'll run to the middle where the stairs are, and then if you look over across, you can see the enemy. So you see a bunch of people trying to spawn snipe you right in the beginning of the game, which is very good if you're trying to get like triple, quad feeds, whatever. But also work to your advantage. So just be aware that there are snipers, especially right here. So if you look across right here, that's where the snipers would be in the beginning of the game, and a lot of them tend to hang out there throughout the game occasionally. So I mean, just be aware of that. But that's really more important for like Search as opposed to like Domination here. So, oh, and if you're playing Domination, be aware of spawn grenades and what I did, which was spawn javelin, because that's an issue for this as well. And as that claymore just kind of takes me out there. So just be aware of all that stuff. Like I said, air support isn't that good on all these maps. Piazza may be an exception. So yeah, one of the things that I would say is, you know, just take your time. Make sure that if you do have the DLC, here's a little tip. If you do have the DLC and you want to play older maps, you can actually disable the DLC right on your like the main menu, the multiplayer main menu. You can actually disable it there by pressing the back button. And so that's good if you're getting sick of oh, I really lost my touch on these commentary, guys. Yeah, so as I was saying, you can disable the DLC if you press the back button, which is really good if you don't want to play any more DLC maps. And if you ask me, I would probably say the competition is harder. You probably get easier competition if you don't play the DLC, just because the tendency is that people who have the DLC are probably more competitive people, or just who have the money to buy it. So, you know, I would probably say you're gonna have a tougher time getting like those high kill games and that if you have the DLC on. So, you know, that's also hit or miss though, and that's lobby by lobby dependent. You know, whatever. Yeah, I really lost my touch in these commentaries. Anyway, this is sort of like a go-between anyway. Alright guys, well, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys next time, hopefully not for as long. Alright guys, peace out.